everyone.
Oh, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Pretty excited. So we're nearly at Christmas Eve. It's the holiday season. It's a great time to be catching up with friends and family. Great slides here from Dr. Kurt tonight. It'll get you motivated and uplifted. Your weekend dose of motivation.
Right on. And
I actually started just reading them, Kurt. I was getting excited.
That's right. That's what we want. Hello, everyone. We're live on Facebook. Katie, can you believe it? Here it is, almost the end of 2018.
No, I can't believe it. It's incredible. It's gone so quick.
It has. It just, boom, gone. What's your motivation for the new year? What's your goals?
My goals? I've got my eyes set. I would like to be 10-star master by the end of 2019. Another goal would be health-wise, to continually improve my health. I'm always seeking optimum health. So I've got some strategies in place for now and the coming year that's going to help me get there.
Aaron, how are you doing tonight?
Boy, Doc, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, I got a couple little slides I'm going to go over. I'll bring you on when we get done with the slides.
Sounds perfect.
Well, Katie and I were just talking about her goals for 2019. She's shooting for 10 stars.
Boy, if anybody can do it, Katie can. And I am absolutely here, Katie, to support you in that effort, obviously. Can't wait to see that. I absolutely can't wait. And I can't imagine how great that would feel to be the first 10-star in the entire world. Because
Wow.
with the new changes in the plan, it would be absolutely amazing. Good job. What a great goal.
Yes, that's my goal. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. What's your goal, Kurt?
What's my goal? Well, obviously, my goal is to be 11-star because I always I got a number of different goals. I want to build a better relationship with a few people, and I want to lose some weight. I'm on a goal of losing 60 pounds.
Wow. How are you going?
That's a great goal.
Yeah, and get back into shape. And, I realize round is a shape, but it's not the right shape. Welcome, everyone, and we're live on Facebook. And let's get this thing going. Let's get the show on the road. As we go into the new year, and we're talking about making 2019 your best year ever. And I mean ever, making your best year ever. You got to look at some things, and you got to say, do the difficult. If you take the easy path and all you do is go down and just do the easiest, what's going to happen is you're not going to hit your goals. Do you want to just be mediocre, or do you want to get more out of life? When you're faced with adversity, tell yourself you can do something different and just move forward. So many people, they hit the first roadblock, and what happens is they stop. When people get confused, they just quit. They quit. And so when you're going through your goals, when you're trying to hit something, you're going to hit challenges. Trust me, you're going to hit challenges. Aaron and Katie and everybody else can tell you, you're going to hit challenges. It's not that easy to hit goals, especially when you have big goals. And it's how you respond to them that defines who you are. Always remind yourself that hard times are going to be vital to your success. You need to have them. It's what makes you stronger. Picture the end. When Katie talks about being 10-star, I was talking to her earlier today. I said, what does it smell like to be a 10-star? You're going to be eating different. To be eating lobster and steak and all these things that she doesn't eat because she doesn't eat meat. But, but what does it smell like? What does that new car smell like with the brand new leather? What does it look like? How do you feel? Does it make that hair on the back of your neck just stand up? Think about your goals every morning and every night. Twice a day you want to be thinking about your goals. You should bring yourself there. Get that feeling. If you don't get those feelings when you think about your goals, it's not your goal. You want to be able to go there. If you want a new car, go to the dealership and sit in that car. Rev the engine. Hear it. Smell it. See yourself behind the wheel so you can close your eyes and you can picture yourself. This is what you want to do. Picture the end. And then what you want to do is you got to realize that everybody has that feeling that they're just not doing enough. They're not getting enough done. It's a universal feeling. Create authentic, vulnerable relationships with other people. Build rapport with other people so you can share your excitement. They can share their excitement with you. Reach out to those other people. Look at professional swimmers. Michael Phelps, when he jumped in the pool and he swims and he's winning the Olympic, he had lines to follow. He knew exactly where he was going in that pool. He had a line. It kept him on course. But when you take a look at us, it's like taking Michael Phelps and throwing him in the ocean. There is no line. He's going to be going in circles just like every single one of us. What you want to do is you have to pick out your lighthouse. Find something, your goal, that you see it every day. Every time you see your goal, you're looking at that lighthouse. What's your lighthouse? Visualize it. This is so important. Folks, as you move into 2019, decide that you're gonna make this the best year. You got to plan the year. You can't just jump in and say, I'm going to do it. Because what happens is that's what happens to too many people. They don't have a plan. They're jumping in the ocean. They're going around in circles, and pretty soon the sharks come in, and the sharks start to swim around them as well. And they're going to get you if you don't have a plan. Aaron Renner from corporate, I just really want to thank you for being on. And here we are. It's Christmas time. It's exciting. Exciting. The new year is going to bring so many great things for all of us. Aaron, what's your lighthouse? What's your goal? What do you got set?
You know, Kurt, I've got a lot of goals. Obviously, they're great goals for Sizzle and what we're trying to accomplish here for each one of you, really. And I mean, I really hope you guys understand that what we try to do on a daily basis is to give you guys all the tools that you can use to go out and build a great, successful business. But not only you, but allow the people that you bring in to have the same opportunity. I think you're going to see a lot of very interesting things as we come into 2019. One of the things that we're working on aggressively right now is we're working on trying to ensure that what we have for you, an onboarding guide, a Sizzle system, if you will, giving your people the ability to actually have something in their hands, some tangible assets that they can go out and start building the business with. And so that's one thing that we're working on right now, is to try to give each one of you that same opportunity. The other thing that we're doing, which I think is extremely good, is that we're opening up a portal that will allow you to start ordering different swag and materials off of the internet that will come to you through a third party, but one that we've contracted with out of Utah that we've worked with for a long time. And so we believe that will help you as well. And now I want you to know that some of the other things that we're in the process of doing, and hopefully you'll see that as we continue to move forward, is we're really working on trying to determine the best way for us to work with Australia, New Zealand. We recognize that when we made the switch over to New Zealand and had the warehouse set up there, it made it a lot easier, a lot quicker, and in some cases, there were some expenses that were obviously being shared, some subsidization that we were actually working on from our side here at Sizzle to really, again, make sure that we continue to keep you guys on track and motivated. But once we made that change, I know it was a little bit like the Band-Aid was being ripped off, but then there was the good and the bad. We could kind of do what we call in America the old Ben Franklin T-chart. But I think the pros outweighed the cons. Now it's important for us to start working on what do we really need to do in order to give you guys, again, that successful environment that you can work within, knowing that you're getting your products a lot quicker. I was trying to explain it to Tom Sr. earlier today, which is kind of funny. I said, you know, Tom, it's difficult when you have a software problem to know where the problem is. And you've got to have smart people there that can figure that out. And over the last couple of weeks, we've had some issues. We've had some glitches. And I apologize. And I want you to know that I've not stopped working hard on your behalf to try to determine where that problem is. And we identified it, fixed it. And then it was a matter of us getting out, parcels and packages and, getting those shipped tos and all that good stuff. Now we got to work on other things. So part of my goal is to make sure that our communication is much better, even from the very first order that you receive, an email that tells you, congratulations, welcome, thank you, here's your tracking number on your first order, et cetera. I mean, we're going to have to work aggressively through a lot of that. There are other things that we want to do as well and make it a little bit easier for you guys to communicate through the customer service group down there. There's some questions out there regarding, when are we going to actually see a new manager come on board, et cetera. Well, my goal is to get somebody in there as quick as possible. It's not easy when you've got really very tenured people that I want to go after, knowing that that they could be potentially a little bit more expensive. And so we're looking, I guess I'm looking a little bit differently at it now after the last couple of weeks of working with a couple of different individuals that I really like and really felt would be a great asset and a great addition to the team. I've got people that have been around the industry for 20, 30 years, and they, of course, have pretty good command on a pretty penny. So I'm working aggressively on that front as well. I think last time I was on the call, I said, hey, if you know people. I did receive a couple of great resumes and emails and some CVs that I was excited about. But we've got to know, how we can best serve you. And one of the things that I'm trying to do is not be such a service-driven person from behind my desk, but to be able to be out in the field and working as hard as I can to try to come up with things that are actually important to you, that make sense, and that don't allow us to be necessarily somebody that's trying to be the armchair quarterback. That's not us. That's not what we want to be. That's not what we want to do. So we want to make sure that we do everything we can to help you guys with that. Now, I will say that as I'm talking, I'm thinking to myself, I can't see myself. So, Kurt, am I on video right now?
You're on video.
Yes.
You're looking good.
Okay, so I don't normally dress so casual, but can you see my shirt?
Yes, Sizzle.
Wild Momentum 2019 is going to be the date, the year that we set as Wild Momentum. We're going to have a lot of fun. And as you can see down there, it says Sizzle in Motion. That's one thing that we put in play. And in and around the office, everybody has the same exact sweatshirts. Everybody knows what our goals are. They also understand some of the challenges that we've dealt with in the past, and they're as committed as I am to trying to make sure that we've got this boat going the right direction and giving you guys the path and the future course that you can follow us in that boat. And I really want you to know that when we brought on the new person, our new marketing director, Jason Goff, I knew that I had the right person that was coming on board, and you're going to start seeing the fruits of his labors. It's going to be remarkable when you start to see some of the things that he's been working on, some of those initiatives, because we've got so many things in the hopper right now that it's almost a little bit scary, but at the same time, it makes it fun because we know that we've got the right things that we're doing, the exciting times ahead of us, and a real opportunity for us to do some miraculous things because we know we've got the right products. We know we've got the compensation plan. We know that we've got the right people, of course. But what we really needed to see is that we had the right type of information, the tools, the things that you needed to see as we continue to build this company, that we could keep up with you as well. And so there are some things that we want to do. There are some things that I'm working on with our logistics company down in Australia to try to be able to get a little bit more lenient on how we actually do promotions and campaigns, much like we would do it here in the U.S. But again, those employees that we have are actual employees of Sizzle, so I can have them do pretty much anything I want them to do. And so that allows me a little bit more latitude. But down there, I'm actually contracted with a different organization, and so I've got to work kind of within their parameters. But I think I've got them to the point where, for instance, we'll have some of these kits like our season of sharing that we had out. We had a lot of fun with it, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. And we've run out. We literally have run out of those kits that we had for sale. They were such a success. So I said today, literally in a meeting a couple of hours ago, well, that's great. They were such a success. It tells me that our people were starving for tools. So let's get the tools out. Let's give them what they need so that they can have these same kits. But it's not going to be a season of sharing. It'll be something that is more of a business builder's toolkit that they can take out. And doesn't matter who you are, what tenure you have with Sizzle, you'll have the tools in front of you so that you can go out and create those sampling and sharing packs like you've seen all over Facebook. And I'm telling you, I know that you guys are chomping at the bit for some of these things. And again, I apologize, but our per touch relationship with the company that we contract with out of New Zealand, they just don't do the little odds and ends that we can get away with here and in other countries that we own the facility. Japan, I have the same constraints. They just don't have the same ability or capability to do kind of these one-offs. So we're going to make it more of a pack, and that way it'll be something that is sitting there that looks like they'll just put it into a box and then ship it over to you, and you'll have it with the same type of materials. Now, I will tell you that one of the reasons why I am super energized on a Friday afternoon, it's dark outside already here in Utah, but we have literally started getting in our Sizzle sticks, the Sizzle H2 sticks. Show you very quickly the sticks. I can't see what's on the screen, but maybe you can tell me if you can see those sticks.
We see those. They look awesome.
Yeah, so we are literally getting toted over because we can't produce these sticks in-house. We have a different group doing them. We're blending everything in-house, but we're actually in the process of having those toted over so that we can have everything that we need here in our facility here, because we'll do all the kitting here. But the cool thing is that we actually have those, and so I've been sampling them throughout the day teaching people how to use the sampling. I educated our customer service group on those. Once we get those in and have enough on the ground here, we are going to ship them down to New Zealand so that you guys can start ordering them. Now, the good news is I can't get them registered in the EU right now. I think I have to manufacture them there. I can't get them into Japan right now. I believe I have to manufacture them there. But I can get them into New Zealand without a problem, and then NFR right over to Australia. So it's a hot product. I'm telling you guys, I mean, even to the point where Tom Sr. said to me today, and Kurt again, is it my face on?
You're on,
Yeah.
man.
Okay, because I turned my camera around. I wasn't positive. But at any rate, Tom Sr. came into my office earlier and he said, okay, so I want to make sure that we've got these things ready. Can you tell that group that we're working with to bring those over tomorrow? And I said, well, tomorrow's Saturday. And he said, no, I know. I'm going to try to get some of my grandkids down here so that they can start filling the orders. And I said, well, Tom, we really can't ship anything until Wednesday. And he said, well, I mean, that's fine. I just want to bring them down. I said, Tom, let's just have a relaxing weekend. Let's enjoy the holidays. Let's all just take a quick deep breath and let's come back on Wednesday of next week. We'll work on that. And so Tom said, reluctantly, okay. But he's a funny guy. He's a workaholic. He loves what he does. He's passionate about this product and all of his products for that matter. But this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest sharing products that I've ever seen. Kurt, I know that you have had great success with that video that you did literally just, on the side of a road, basically with a little cap on and poured it in. But the fact is, man, that got a lot of hits. So I'm excited. I'm as excited as you guys are right now. So I know I've talked aggressively here for a couple of minutes. I'm happy to have you guys ask me a couple more questions.
Thanks. Aaron, can you just talk to us about feelings that Liesl and Thomas Jr. have about Sizzle and what their plans are for Sizzle as a whole as well as Australia?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I work a little more closely with Thomas on a daily basis because he's in operations, but he's also, I'd sure love to groom him into our sales group, and I think at some point I will. But Thomas has really become an unbelievable champion for you guys. I mean, he's so focused, he's so diligent and doing everything he can to make sure that he does support the way that he knows you guys need support. And he's very focused on that, not only for Australia and New Zealand, but Sizzle in general. I mean, obviously he's got an opportunity to continue to be with Sizzle and be a part of Sizzle for the rest of his life. And so as a result, he sees the future, he knows the vision, understands the strategies that we're putting in place. And it's great to see. Liesl, of course, has just a persona about her that's so wonderful and amazing. And it allows her to be somebody that I think really, in my opinion, probably resonates a lot more with our demographic that maybe Kurt or I can't quite resonate as well with in terms of being the gender that we are. But the fact is that she hears, we've got probably 70% of our distributor force are female. And so to have a person that can listen and think and understand kind of the way that each one of you are thinking, then it gives us another quiver, another sort or arrow in our quiver at the company to have somebody like that. And then, of course, she's got all kinds of initiatives that she's working on. And so her commitment is very, very big. I mean, her commitment and her desire to see great success is there. And I know that it's funny because we have every Monday an executive meeting, and we sit down for about 30 to 50 minutes, maybe an hour, and we talk through some of the initiatives, some of the challenges, some of the things that are happening, any of the hot topics. And of course, she's sitting right there at the table. Thomas is right there. Tom Jr. is in on every one of those meetings, and then a few of our executives. But it's great to be in there because I think we all have that opportunity to hear about the things that are maybe a little bit more frustrating or destructive, or maybe something that has happened that one of us wasn't aware of that happens over a weekend. Communication is wonderful in terms of people to us, because there are so many different mediums that people have access to us. And so I may hear something on Facebook, private messenger. Liesl may see something on an email that comes across, or even an Instagram post or whatever it may be. So there are so many different mediums that she may hear something that I haven't heard, and we talk about it every Monday. And then it's our challenge. It's our goal by the end of the week to have some of those initiatives taken care of and really just solved. And so I know we see a lot of that stuff from your guys' team. Of course, you've got great leadership in Katie, and of course up through Kurt. And it's funny because I may get something from Katie, and then a few minutes later I get it from Kurt. I may get something from Trevor. A few minutes later I get it from Kurt. And I think I finally told Kurt, hey, just so you know, I've gotten this 3 times. And I think he likes that, by the way. But
at least I know you get it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, the good news is that we've got a lot of opportunity in front of us for growth. You know, sometimes challenges help us grow a little bit better, a little bit bigger, as Kurt mentioned earlier, and Katie, I think you alluded to that. You know, these challenges that we deal with on a daily basis, they stretch us. And I wouldn't know as much as I know now about those orders being dropped, and it was so intermittent that we couldn't tell where it was being dropped, but it was just a communication issue between 2 servers, bottom line. And once we figured out what it was, I could tell you the technical side of it a little bit better than I would have been able to 2 weeks ago. But we had people diligently working through it. Again, a couple of weeks ago, we put a patch in place. It still didn't solve it or you know, literally put the problem to bed, but it allowed us to try to identify some of those things that we were dealing with so that we could fix them going forward. And I think we're you know, again, through the process of the challenges and those opportunities to grow, I look forward to it. I mean, it's not that I look forward to frustration and challenges and things that are just antagonizing, but the fact is that at the end of the day, I actually look forward to the knowledge that I've gained, and it gives me the ability to with a little bit more information, a little bit more knowledge, maybe become a little bit more dangerous, and I'm okay with that as well. So anyways, we've seen a lot of growth over this last year. This last year was not easy, but yet we still saw growth in volumes. We still saw growth in number of distributors coming on board, and to see a challenge like we've just had slow us down a little bit really makes me mad. But at the same time, I've got to hurry up and do everything I can to round up the troops, the right people, and make sure that we make good decisions and come up with solutions that are going to solve the problem for us. So at any rate, I really thank you, and it'll be a great opportunity for us to really make this thing move forward.
Great.
Darren, you know, one thing that I was just thinking about as we're coming to the close of the call here, we try and keep it to half an hour. Give everybody kind of your ideas, your tips on what they can do to really go out there and make 2019 the best year. I mean, you've been in business for a long time. What do you tell people to just keep motivated when you were running your bicycle team, your racing team? What did you tell everybody to get them pedaling as hard as they could, even though they were so tired they probably couldn't make it up the next hill?
Well, you know, it's interesting because everybody works a little bit differently, and I think that's the important thing to understand first and foremost, I guess, is, you know, individually we have an opportunity. We can see things that happen that we're not quite sure how to handle. And I want people to understand that they've got a great support infrastructure that's literally wrapped around them from the top down. I mean, the Mowers are so focused and so committed. I mean, obviously, as you guys know, the Mowers love Australia. They love New Zealand. They've done so much to try to keep that business intact, even to the point where we were losing money, I think, every month on Australia with shipping. But we did it because we knew the value of the people there, and it was an investment on our side to try to make sure that happened. And I think that gives you a pretty good understanding of the commitment that the Mowers have. I hope you guys understand that and feel that. From Tom Sr. to Tom Jr. to Liesl to Thomas, I mean, everybody is very focused on seeing you guys have great success. From me down, I've got my team that understands it's a global relationship. This is not something that we do for America, and that every week we try to get as good as we can, as granular as we can, specific to each market. And I think with that specificity, it starts to help and control people. So my belief is that if you know you have the support, if you know that you've got a great upline, then just go out and do it. Go start building. You know, we had a call this morning here in America. It was kind of the wake-up call. And it was interesting because as we were talking and chatting about it, we started talking a little bit about staking your claim. And many of you may or may not know about the gold rush back in the 1800s here in America and California. There was a guy by the name of Jim Marshall. Jim Marshall sent word back when he discovered gold. He sent word back to his employers in New York, and he said, hey, I want you to know that I found gold, and we need to get a crew out here and do everything we can to let people know. Well, the word spread very quickly, and immediately once that happened, there was an influx of people rushing as they called the gold rush, to get out here to California. Well, as a result, this guy, Jim Marshall, missed out on his opportunity to stake his claim. And you had to file a claim on a specific piece of property in order to get the mineral rights to it. He never filed his claim. Well, if you didn't stake your claim, unfortunately, you didn't get your gold. And so they found him at the bottom of a cavern years and years later, because they assume, and I'm not positive that this is the case, but they assume that he just finally threw himself to his death because he had no money whatsoever, had not been able to stake his claim. Each one of you has an opportunity to stake your claim, but it's up to you to go out and do the work. Like I said this morning, the gold doesn't come to you. You have to go to the gold. You have to go dig for the gold. You have to find the gold. And in that digging and in that process, you're going to come across people that are absolute gold. They're going to be the greatest gift that you've ever come across. And some of them may even be a bigger gift than you. They may be a bigger chunk of gold. They may have greater power and greater influence on people. But the fact is that everybody has an opportunity to bring in the greatest people on earth and have them be a part of their team. And I think that's what I would say, is that you've just got to go out and do the work. I mean, truly, it's about uncovering opportunity. It's about uncovering those people that are looking for something. You never know who it is that you're walking past that are looking for something. Who is it and what is it that they're looking for in terms of an opportunity? And I used to tell people, can you imagine if you didn't have a chance to open your mouth with somebody, an associate, a friend, a family member, and you didn't literally just give them an opportunity to tell you some of the things that they're dealing with right now. And so when you think about that, there may be somebody that you know within your circle of influence that literally has no money to their name, that they can't provide Christmas, for instance, to their families, that they can't give them anything, they can't pay their bills, they can't cover the cost of their car payment, they can't afford gas for their vehicle to even get to work in the first place, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You never know what the struggles are that the people that you're talking to are dealing with, because everybody puts on a great face, and inside they may be saying, wow, I need this in my life. I need this person in my life. I need the social relationship and the buoyancy that they give me to stay afloat, to be happy and to be kind and to go out and work with people. And so I always tell people it's very important to ask the first question. Start asking those questions about the opportunity. I mean, don't be afraid to talk about the product, but a lot of people look for the product. But if you don't tell them that there's an opportunity associated with it, then they don't have a chance to make a decision on it, meaning they don't have a choice. They think that it's just a product-driven environment, but in fact, we offer a business solution, a business opportunity that if they're willing to, then you can have a conversation. But you got to sit back and listen and ask those specific questions. Then just stop talking and let them talk, because it's an opportunity for you to learn more about them, to find out exactly what it is that they're looking for, because you really can't dictate the terms of their future. You really can't dictate what it is that they want to do or don't want to do. You've got to give them the opportunity to express it. Once they express it, then it gives you a chance to really do exactly what you were hoping to do, which is to massage that message a little bit, give them an opportunity to be a part of the conversation, and then teach them how to do the business if they accept that opportunity. But I'll tell you, Doc Fizz and Katie, again, it's about people going out and having the discussions and having the conversations, but they first really need to sit down and understand why they're doing it. They need to understand, what it's for, what's their story, and how they're going to get there. They need to understand those goals. I love that you're talking about goals for 2019, because I always tell people, if you haven't set your goals, you need to sit down and set them. If you haven't told your upline your goals, then you need to have that conversation, because I can't help you with your goals if I don't know what your goals are. I can't help you achieve your success if I don't know what you're trying to achieve. But I want to be a part of it. I don't want to literally have you sitting on the sidelines wondering when I'm going to help you. But I can only help you if I know where you're trying to go. Then I can give you the direction that you need to take in order to get there. And I'm telling you, we are at that point where you have an opportunity in front of you. You just have to take it. Each one of you on this call need to take that out to everybody that's within your organization. Have those discussions, have those conversations, and at the end of it, you're going to have a great opportunity in front of you for not only yourself, but for everybody else. Because I'll leave you with this. In this industry, the thing I love about it, you cannot become successful unless you help others become successful. It's impossible. You don't have the ability to have success unless everybody's having success with you, because then that continues to buoy you up and you continue to grow. They're growing with you and everybody's successful that's a win-win. If you're just bringing people in and leaving them on the roadside, that's a win-lose for them. If people are bringing you in and leaving you on the roadside, that's a lose-lose for you as well as the upline, because you're going to leave and go somewhere else. So again, in this business, you can only become successful if you're helping other people become successful. So with that being said, again, if you've got other thoughts, ideas, questions, I know we're out of time.
You bet. Well, Aaron, one of the things that I teach when I teach the compensation plan is that everybody should try and make the matching check match the biggest part of their check, because that tells you you're helping everybody else.
Good point.
That's
Good point.
It's a really important part of the compensation plan. Well, Aaron, thanks for being on and sharing some of your time. I know you got family and you're going to spend some time with them this weekend. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all of you. Katie, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you close out the call.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Aaron, for being on the call. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your day or evening as it is, I think, now. And I want to wish everyone on the call a Merry Christmas, and thank you for jumping on, and we look forward to seeing you on the call next time.
Everyone,
Thanks,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.